Well, welcome back to my next video, and this is Mickey Treat from coinopny.com, coinopnewyork.com, and Mickey's Antique Amusements in Rochester, New York. And we buy vintage jukeboxes, specifically non-working ones. So if you have a old jukebox you want to sell, give me a call, 585-747-0605. Okay, this next video is about an AMI Model I. And also this pertains to Model H's made in 1957 and 58. And this is going to talk about changing title strips and changing out records. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's walk up to the jukebox here. Here you have a rod here that supports the dome, which is right here. You can see it's up there. It's being held in place. This point pivots right here. So if I pull this little tab out, I can go ahead and shut it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you how it works. I'm going to lift it up with my elbow, pull that out, and you can sort of see that's bending. And now I can shut the dome all the way. You see how that works? There we go. Now we're going to lift it back up, and it should lock into place, which it did. And you can sort of see it's supported right through here. There's a lock mechanism. Let's go ahead and focus. You can sort of see it's locked in right there. All right, so now that we have that locked, the next step is how do we get up into here to get these title strips out? Well, what you do is you come underneath here and there's these little tabs. And if you pull it this way, come over here and pull this one, sort of just bend it, just move it that way, then this will fold down. As you can see, now it's being supported by this little frame right here. It's supporting the whole title strip frame right here. And these are the title strips you need to know what song to pick, as you can see. So how does this work on this model? Well, you come up here and grab onto one of them and gently pull this out. You don't want to rip it out because you could crack it. Here, it's a piece of plastic. Okay? And that comes out. And then what that allows you to do is take it here and pull your title strips out. You see how that works? Okay. Then if you had new title strips, you'd take them and put them in. When you were done and had all your title strips in, you'd come back over here. And you can sort of see in here they have little clips. You see, like on this side, they have clips. You see? And then this side, so on and so forth. So, and when you're putting it in, you do have to be careful. You can sort of see, but you lift it up and insert it into the clip. Like that. So if you look on the back side of this, you could sort of see there's a little opening there. You see this little square opening? That's where you're going to put it on that clip. Watch how I set that in there. Sort of hard to do one-handed. Let me see if I can get this lined up. There we go. Now it's clipped in. As you can see, it's in there. So each one of these pull out. You can sort of see. See? Pulls out. So that's how you take. You do one tray at a time. This starts out at, I think, A1. Yep, A2. That would be the B side of the first record. And that'll correspond with your drum that you put the records in. So, as you can see, that's how you change your title strips out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 title trays. Okay? So each tray has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strips and 2 songs on each strip. So that gives you 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 200 selections, 100 records. All right, so once you got that done and you've got your title strips in, you want to lift this back up and then come back underneath here and push this over to lock that in place. Lift up again a little more here. Bring this over so it's supporting that. All right, so now the title strips are in. Another thing you can do is take the screws off this and change your light bulb underneath here. There's some screws here, and this plastic panel comes out and you can change the light bulb. All right, now getting on to the record area. As you can see, we're at like J7. So if we wanted to start putting records in, we're going to come over here. Okay, this turns the mechanism off, so nothing will work in the off position. You always want that in on. There's a little button here that you push down. Now watch what happens when I push the button down. Okay. So we just went past the A's, so we want to start at A1, so we're going to bring it back around. Okay, we're at the F's, G's, H, J, K. There we go. K19 right there, and K20 and A1. So your first record would go right there. So what you would do is come over to the pile and get a record, your first record, which would be on the title strip up here. Basically, you get your title strips in there and have your records in the correct order, and you don't have to know what you're putting in. So you'll put your record in A1, A2. That's the first record. Then the next record will go in, and so on and so forth. And that's how it works. So we don't really need to move it because we can do 6, 7, 8 records, and then once we get those in, we can move it a little more by pushing this button, and then we can access the rest of them, and we keep going until we get all 100 records in there. And that's how you change records on a jukebox for an AMI Model H and Model I. So that's going to do it. On this one is a manual select mechanism, so they don't have keys. You just simply dial this in here, as you can see. Okay, and you can sort of see this spin around here. It's a more simplified version, and it's really foolproof. It really doesn't fail. A lot easier. So you dial in your selection, the one you want, and then you hit this button, and it'll go to A5. It'll circle around, pick up a record, put it down on the platter, and play it. So there you go. That's a video of how to change records, how to put your title strips in and out, how to lift up the dome, and how to change the light bulb. Now we're going to move on to the back of the jukebox on how to tighten down the mechanism for shipping purposes so it doesn't get damaged in shipping, and how to access the amplifier to make your adjustments on tone and bass and change tubes. So let's go to the back of the jukebox.